Hi, welcome to Shamin Brown Consulting, and I'm Shamin Brown. It's nice to see you. So, nervous as always, but getting out of my comfort zone and trying something new because that's a huge part of recovery. Uh, Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about parenting as part of recovery. And likely there will be many more of these that come along, but this is the first one. And what's triggered it is I'm outside my son's studio getting ready to be part of one of his videos, and I'm nervous as heck. I'm playing the part where I'm yelling at him for not finding a job and kicking him out. We're kind of replicating some earlier family drama, and I've been trying to get into character, and it's brought me back to this place where I've thought about that moment and what else was going on for me in my life, and just how I felt, right? I have 3 kids, and the one of them was struggling himself with some choices that I didn't really agree with, and that made me feel unsafe both for him and for our household. And my older one was working and helping out around the house and doing all of the things that he should, but just not really following my guidance in respects to, he would find a job and then he would quit it because he thought he had a different job. Some friend told him whatever, and then it would be months before he found a new job because that would fall through, and it just became, frustrating for me. And he was an adult, and I, was wanting also to see him launch and wanting him to understand finances and responsibility. And I remember at one point saying to him, I think that you need to spend a year on your own so that you understand why I'm so upset when these things come up. At the time, he had purchased a new car after I had picked up a car from my mom's and brought it back with him. She lives in another province, and he bought himself a new car on credit shortly after that because he didn't like the car that he was getting for free that I was putting money into fixing. So, and kids will be kids, right? But fast forward to today, and as sad as that time, I mean, I cried for months after. I felt so bad. I felt so guilty. I was so worried. And he did make his way. And he did things his own way, not the way that I would have wanted him to do if he were staying with me. And he's successful and he's enjoying himself. And I get to be a part of that now. And we have a great relationship. And, I just think what made that hard and what makes that a recovery story as well as a parenting story is that the trauma that we carry as survivors comes into our decisions with us. And I remember that crying and that grief afterwards. I wasn't just grieving, for him. I was grieving for myself and for the experience that I had as a child that was similar to that had made me feel rejected and unworthy, and just reliving that and experiencing the sadness that I was causing that for my own child, and being worried that he wasn't going to make it, so much, and that it would be my fault, right? And having had this desire, this conviction, this goal in my parenting to not cause harm, to be vigilant, to be almost hyper alert, really, which is where I've made my mistakes, but alert to danger, and train them well in protecting themselves, and not, I would always say to them, because they sometimes would say, well, you did it. And I would say, well, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. And that was always the goal. And it's so lovely now to see where my kids are at. All of them are just, doing great things, moving forward. We still clash, we still bump heads. It's still hard. There's still a lot of guilt and trigger events, but we have learned to talk about things and work through things together, and sometimes let them sit when they need to. So that's a little bit on parenting. I don't know if any of you out there who are survivors yourself can relate to some or all of what I've shared. What is parenting like for you? What are some times where you've had to make some tough decisions, and did they pay off? What are you proud of that you see in your kids now? Let's talk about it. comment below. Feel free to subscribe to Shamin Brown Consulting. And yeah,